Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. Welcome to another compelling program. By the way, I'm not sure when this is going to air, but you can see it's a new look, it's a new feel, it's a new location. But once again, we have the president of Berkeley College, Michael Smith. Michael, how you doing? You're in your studio. You're in your office, I can tell.
We don't know where we are these days, but it's great to be in the office and looking forward to having all our students back on campus real soon and all our workforce back here and getting back to whatever the next normal is going to be.
Yeah, by the way, Berkeley, one of our higher ed partners, and we produce a whole range of programming dealing with higher education. As we do this program in the spring of 2021, it'll be seen for a couple months after. Let me ask you this, Michael. How hard is it to predict when everyone will be back on campus, how and when, with all the changes? Yes, the vaccines are out there more and more, and we hope and pray that more and more people get vaccinated. But how hard is it to plan, Michael?
You know, it basically we're at bat, and we don't know what the pitcher is going to throw. So basically, we're swinging at the pitches as they come. We've got a game plan as to what we're looking to do. We know that we're a year into this at this point now, so we know best practices. We've been operating. We know what works and we know what doesn't work and where we need to change our game. As you said, the vaccine is real game changer. We know that certainly from folks that are older, skewing older, such as the teachers and the workforce are getting online. They're getting the vaccines. But we haven't seen it push down, to the younger folks, a lot of the younger students at this point. So they're less susceptible. But we know that once that broadly based vaccine goes across the board, we're going to be in a much different place.
Michael, let me ask you this: vaccine distribution. As we do this program, we've done so much on vaccine distribution, vaccine awareness. People see the website up about vaccine, what you need to know, COVID-19, what you need to know. But let me ask you this. Higher ed institutions, some of them are very actively involved in this, and that includes yours. Talk about it, vaccine distribution.
Absolutely. So Berkeley has medical programs and all sorts of medical certificates and degrees associated all the way up to the master's level, which will be expecting to be offering this fall, master's in nursing. But we have practical experience. So our students are learning the methodology. They're learning how to inject, and sometimes they practice on apples and oranges, and now they have they're getting the real life experience. So we have over 40 students and staff who are volunteering at a drive-up center in Clifton, providing vaccine to people. So it's part of that workforce that gets it out there with practical real-world experience. And that's really where the value of education is these days. There's a great opportunities to learn online, and some institutions are doing it really, really well. But it's hard to replace that hands-on experience. So
go back to the nursing piece, Michael. You and I've had so many conversations about curriculum and education, and I've been honored to come and provide a series of guest lectures on leadership at Berkeley with your students. But what I'm curious about is the impact of COVID on the profession of nursing, A, and B, on the curriculum in an advanced program, a master's program, right, in nursing? Well,
right,
how does it change? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So you nailed it exactly. I mean, first of all, we're very appreciative of the fact that you do come on campus and our students have a great experience when they hear you talk about leadership. You're speaking, you're a very passionate speaker. You speak from the heart, and it's very meaningful for our students. So we love when you come on campus and speak. So thank you. The reality is that nursing, we know from a demand perspective, is that nursing is a physical job, and you're going to need someone to do it. It's not a job that's going to be sent over to seed. It's not going to be an app that takes care of it. It's going to be a hands-on profession. We know that from an aging and from a census perspective, that the current workforce of nurses out there are aging out, and they're going to be retiring. The demand will be far greater than the supply. So Berkeley is stepping into the space, has been in the space, and providing real-world training for our students to be successful. Students come out of these programs, they get hired right away, and they have a very meaningful career. And it's important. We know, if we've never appreciated the full value of the importance of healthcare, take a look at the last year and what it means to us and our families.
Michael, real quick, do you find that there are more or less people wanting to go into nursing?
There are more people who want to go into nursing at this point. I mean, the challenge is that it's having the requisite academic abilities and skills to be able to do the work. Not everyone can be a nurse. You need to have that that those quantitative, those mathematical, those analytical skills to be able to do it and be able to go through a very, tough regimen of training. Because, when I go into a classroom, I ask my nursing students, I go in joking with them saying, who here is a C student? And you'll see some look around, maybe you'll get someone to raise their hand. And I say, well, I want to remember what you look like because I don't want you to get my medicines right 70% of the time. And that's the reality. I mean, the nurses, are very hardworking, very intelligent, but the reality is that the academic rigor is important, and we need that because the consequences of not getting something right is serious.
And let me also say this, I won't get on my leadership soapbox, but in my work, in my writing and teaching and coaching around leadership, nurses are extraordinary leaders. Let's put that out there. Michael, real quick, before I let you go, the initiative, there's a task force on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Talk about it. What is it and why is it so important?
So Berkeley is a very diverse population for starters. So that, our student body looks like, the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area.
By the way, where are the campuses? Let everyone know, Michael.
So in New Jersey, our main campus is in Woodland Park, but we're also in Woodbridge, New Jersey. We're also in Paramus, and we're in Newark. And those are our New Jersey campuses.
And New York?
In New York, we're right in Midtown, right on 43rd Street, between Madison and 5th, and 41st between Madison and 5th, and up in White Plains, as well as a very, very robust online educational. We've been in the online space for over 22 years at this point, so we're probably one of the leaders and had the ability to flip the switch, probably as easy or better than anyone else in the metropolitan area based upon our history.
Michael, real quick before I let you go, do the diversity, equity, and inclusion piece.
Sure. So, we, certainly, and we've seen what happened over the summer, and, sort of, the troubles and the travails that went out there, and sort of the public voicing of unrest, which is important for people to express their voices. But what's really more important on the back end is that something gets done about it. It's great to have a march, but the reality is that it's not followed up by actionable behaviors. Nothing gets done, nothing changes. Berkeley College has been focused on getting things done. So we're very action oriented. Our committee is together. We surveyed our population to say, drilling down deep, asking those hard questions, saying, what are the things that we need to be better at? And these, we've focused, paid attention to it. And that's really, where we are. We know from a very fine detail perspective, how our student body feels and how our staff feels. And we're acting in that way continuously, just to make sure that it is a safe place. It's a place where students have the ability to feel comfortable, that their voices are being heard, and at the same time getting a quality education that they know that will lead to employment.
You've been listening to Michael Smith, watching Michael Smith, who is the president at Berkeley College, one of the higher ed partners of the Caucus Educational Corporation, an underwriter of the work that we do. Michael, best to you and all of your colleagues at Berkeley as you navigate these very difficult and challenging times. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Steve. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person live real soon.
I'm looking forward to being on campus again soon. I'm Steve Adubato. That's Michael Smith. We'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, PSC&G, NJM Insurance Group, Englewood Health, Investors Bank, Summit Health, the New Jersey Education Association, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, and by NJ Best. Promotional support provided by Meadowlands Chamber and by New Jersey Globe.
NJM Insurance Company has been serving New Jersey policyholders for more than 100 years. But just who are NJM's policyholders? They're the men and women who teach our children, the public sector employees who maintain our infrastructure, the workers who craft our manufactured goods, and New Jersey's next generation of leaders, the people who make our state a great place to call home. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.